Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. I've got a seriously exciting mould kit here to show you. You would have seen this maybe 5-6 months ago on my channel. They are by Nicole Mould and she sent me a massive set of moulds to try and have a play with. You would have seen me use the tea light holders at Halloween, but this is the incredible bathroom accessory kit. Now the reason this video is so intentional is because we had a new bathroom fitted recently, and if you follow my other channel, I have another channel if you're new here, it is a home channel, you will have already seen some things that I'm doing in the house, and this kit is going to go into our brand new bathroom. Not only are these molds bang on trend and absolutely gorgeous and aesthetically pleasing and tactile and all of the yummies, but the colour I'm going to use is so beautiful. First up, we have this whopper of a soap dish. I am probably going to use it as a trinket dish. I'm not going to lie, it is gorgeous and massive. It's coming in around 14-15 centimeters across and 10 down. It is a beast of a thing and it is super chunky. Next up, we have two pots in this set. Now, one pot is like a tall and skinny pot, and the other pot is a shorter pot with a lid. Now, if I'm honest, I might not necessarily use the lid. I'm going to make the lid, but I might not necessarily use it for what I want in my bathroom. I'm going to turn it into like a plant pot for a faux, for a fake plant, because you guys know I am not very green fingered and I find it hard to keep even my plastic plants alive. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out and let's get into it. Okay, everything you're going to need is linked below, but I also do want to let you know this is not a sponsored video. I'm not getting paid in any way. I'm not an affiliate. So if you do go ahead and buy some of Nicole Mould molds, I'm not earning from it. I'm just letting you know this is from my experience and how I find Nicole Mould molds. First up, I had no idea how much Jesmonite AC100 to make up. The other thing to mention is that yes, Boo and Nicole does have her own eco pour range. I decided to use Jesmonite AC100 because I am most familiar with this product and I know it's super heavy and weighty, and that is what I want from the end result. So I had no idea how much to mix up. So you can see on screen exactly how much I poured. I kind of just stared at them for a while and I was like, right, well that might take this much and that might take this much, and in the end I just poured a ton of liquid, which was like well over 400 grams, and then I added the equivalent powder. I did sieve my powder just to make sure there was no clumps, because I want these pieces in my bathroom and I want them to be as perfect as I can possibly get them. And then I gave it a massively hefty mix with my whisk. Now, Jesmonite AC100, they also recommend usually you add a bit of powder, mix it, add a bit more powder, mix it, add more, etc, etc. I ain't got time for that. I haven't got time for that. A, I'm doing a huge batch. One big massive batch. And B, sometimes when you pour slowly, like liquid powder, add a bit more powder, add a bit more powder, it minimizes the time you've got to use the stuff. So it kind of starts to set before you're ready for it to set. So sometimes I do take a risk and I put it all in at once and then I just go crazy with my whisk. But it does help if you sieve the powder at this point, because you're gonna like minimize those clumps and bumps, and look how smooth and beautiful this is. First color up was the Sun-Kissed. Now, Boo and Nicole Mould does have her own set of primary colours for eco, but because I'm going for more of this earthy tone, wait till you see this colour, it is stunning. I'm going for Rust. Guys, Rust is a very much a trending 2024 colour. Now, again, I'm not jumping on a trend. It just so happens I love the colour. It's very terracotta. Obviously, it comes under the terracotta family, but the colours I'm using are from Homeware Design Co. And Homeware Design Co. already kind of has those colours in it, so I don't have to put much thought into mixing my own. I'm using quite a lot of the Sun-Kissed, but then in the end I added in some of the chocolate brown to bring it up to this more of a browny, darker, burnt orange kind of colour. This colour, I'm telling you, I don't know what's happened to me. If you watch my home channel, you'll know I'm doing up the hallway right now. I'm sanding down the banister and it's a lot. But I've got suddenly very what's the word, enthusiastic about natural earthy wood tones and all of these colours. And I've been looking at soft furnishings. Don't ask me why. I don't need any more cushions, but I've been looking at soft furnishings and looking at cushions in this rusty burnt orange terracotta colour, and I'm telling you, they are everywhere because it is a top 2024 trending colour. I'm obsessed with it. And can we talk about the fact that I am scraping the bowl of every last little bit of Jesmonite AC100, and I have pretty much filled up the entire set. Now, I'm not going to lie, that tall pot could have done with another millimetre, but as it stands, I did a pretty good job eyeballing it. And so far, so good. It has poured into these moulds, down those walls like a dream. I really did spend as much time as possible scraping the dregs out of this bowl just to fill up that lid and fill up the other pot as well. But I wasn't going to do any more than this. If it was really lacking, I could have gone in and made a little bit more, but I just feel like it was enough. It was enough of a base of the pot to not worry that it wasn't totally and utterly flush with the top of the mould. After quite a big bash, like, you just gotta whack these, knock them about a bit, tap them on the desk, you know, push the sides, tap the sides, just do everything that you can see me doing here to minimize any air bubbles at all. But the beauty with these molds is that everything's rounded, so the bottoms of the mold, aka the tops of the pots, they're all rounded. There's no 90-degree angles in these 3 molds that you're seeing on the screen right now. Plus it's one colour, which means I can bash the life out of these to minimize air bubbles, and it won't disturb anything going on within that Jesmonite AC100. Sometimes when you pour a marble or you're pouring multiple colors together, you don't want to tap them for too long. You really can disturb the patterns and you can disturb stuff going on. But yeah, fingers crossed these are going to come out perfectly. The last thing I'm doing here, this is a great tip for anyone if you want to turn any regular standard pot or cup mold into I guess a pot with a hole at the bottom. All I'm doing here is chopping up a couple of glue sticks just to place down into the tops of my molds. Now, if anyone's got much bigger pot molds, you'll already know that some of them come with these. They come with like little silicone stoppers that you can put in the backs just to create holes in the bottom of your pots. Some molds already come with a little nodule to create that hole for you. But like these, you can use them either way. They can be completely sealed pots, or you can cut up your glue sticks, poke them in the bottoms to create a hole at the bottom of your pot when it comes to demolding. Now, you would only really do this if you're going to use them for a plant pot, or like me, you're going to use them in the bathroom. And if any moisture gets in, it's just going to come straight out the bottom. And if you're worried about using Jesmonite AC100 in the bathroom and moisture, really and honestly, don't be worried. I'm going to talk more about that later in the video, and oh my gosh, have I got a video coming soon that's going to blow your socks off when it comes to actual Jesmonite AC100 and moisture. And it's been 2 years in the making. 2 years. This is 40 minutes later. I left it in the mold longer than 30 minutes. The reason for that is these molds are chunky. They are chunky, hunky beasts of a mold. They've got really fat walled silicone, and I knew that this is gonna take a lot of oomph to get these pieces out of these molds, and I wasn't wrong. It did take me a hot minute. You can see here as well, I do go off camera because I'm literally like pushing it against my stomach, against my chest, to roll down the walls of this silicone mold. So my advice would be definitely leave your Jesmonite or your Eco in the mold for longer, because I don't know, I just feel like after 30 minutes that the product just wouldn't be strong enough to withstand the demold. You will more than likely snap it or crack it somewhere along the line, and we don't want to snap it or crack it. So yes, 40 minutes later, time to demold. It took a minute. It took a minute, but it was totally worth it, because look at this beauty. Absolutely stunning. Like I said at the beginning, Very, very tactile. There is something unbelievably tactile about these. Super soft with those ridges, and that's just beautiful as you go around feeling it. Just feels so soft. As for the soap dish, now again, the only reason I'm not going to use this as a soap dish, I didn't put holes in the bottom. I could have done that, but I don't really have soap. Like, I don't have a soap dish, you know, like, to me, a soap dish takes up space. For me, this will absolutely be on a shelf in my bathroom as a trinket dish. Maybe if you're going in the shower and you want to take your jewellery off, you can go over, just put it in the trinket dish. That is probably what I'm going to use this for. Equally, it could just be a little tray for something. But yeah, I love it. It reminds me of like a seriously padded quilt. It makes me just want to lay down and take a nap, I'm not going to lie. Now, this is the lid for the smaller pot. Fits beautifully. There's no worries about it not fitting. It is honestly beautiful, but I did not do this very well at all. I barely even tapped the lid. You would have seen that in the video. I didn't take enough time. I didn't pay enough attention to the fact that the lid has a lip on it. And I really should have gone in and under to make sure that that Jesmonite was fully in there and I got rid of any potential air bubbles. But as it stands, I'm not even sure I'm going to use the lid at this point, so I'm not too bothered by it. And yeah, this is the larger pot. So this is the pot I would say is pretty perfect for your toothbrushes. I know a lot of people don't keep their toothbrushes out in their bathroom. They're away in your cupboard, and that's fine too. That could also work. But this is an ideal size for a toothbrush and toothpaste pot. Bang on. It's actually bigger than my current toothbrush holder and toothpaste pot. So yeah, it's a generous size. It is pretty much perfect for it. And again, tactile. They feel like suede. They just feel so lovely. And this is the view from the hole at the bottom. You can see me waving the other side just to show you that that hole went all the way through, and it's been quite a success. If this voiceover sounds a little bit hectic, it's because I've got George here with me and he is literally trying to get to everything just so that I will stop talking on the voiceover and pay him some attention. He's only had my attention for 3 hours today, so deprived. Just as I was getting these ready to put on the drying rack, oh my gosh, I had another idea. Do you remember a few weeks ago I used a rose mould and I created loads of different things in the rose mould, like different mediums? A Jesmonite rose in the same colour matching Jesmonite as your pot to use as a little knob to be able to lift the lid. I mean, you can lift the lid. I know you can lift the lid and it's just as easy, but just give it some decoration. This is what I had in mind when I made all these roses. You can use them for things like this. It would look so beautiful. But of course, I thought about this after the fact, so did not do that in the video. Now, here's the thing. These will need a little bit of a sanding on the bottoms, and also they will need sealing. I'm not going to do that in this video. These are super, super chunky, hunky beasts of a mould. Instead of leaving them to like cure fully for 24 hours, I'm actually going to leave them for 2 to 3 days before sealing. And when I seal, I'm going to use the Jesmonite AC100 acrylic sealer. First coat diluted with water, second coat neat. Now, if you were worried about these being in the bathroom and being around moisture, let me tell you something else. I put a plate in my garden 2 years ago, guys. 2 years ago, this June, I put a Jesmonite AC100 plate in the garden. It is still there. We are talking 40-degree heat. We are talking snow. We are talking pouring rain. Freezing cold temperatures. The plate is still there. It has not broken. I cannot physically break it, and it's been 2 years. So I think these are going to do perfectly well in a bathroom, but also I'm going to bring that video to you very soon. We're going to look at that plate. We're going to look at what 2 years being outside has done to a Jesmonite AC100 plate. Cannot wait to share it with you. But now I'm going to take you into my bathroom and just look at this. My bathroom has not been painted yet, but if you follow my home channel, you'll already know I chose the colour for my bathroom, and this is just me putting the colour on the wall to see if I actually really do love it, and I really love it. Look at the contrast between these pots and this paint. My plan is to have some shelves here, so those pots will go on that shelf. Really contrasting colours to the wall, and I absolutely love them. I cannot wait to finish the bathroom. But again, if you are new here and you didn't know I have another channel, head on over to my home channel. There's already quite a lot of content on there, and yeah, you'll hear me talking a lot about the bathroom because it didn't quite go to plan and it, you know, came flooding down through the living room ceiling, but you'll know that if you follow me over there. Anyway, I hope this has inspired you to create some pieces for your own home in your own color scheme, and thank you so much to Nicole Mould for sending these molds over to me. Cannot wait to use them again. They are so versatile. You could use them as absolutely anything, storage pots, plant pots, whatever you want to use them, you name it, you can do it. Thank you so much if you've been with me in the live chat. I appreciate you all, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.